Okay, here's the quiz correction. So I'm going to go over it and just explain a few things here. You can go ahead and watch this at a faster speed. So question one was the unit rate, unit price. And when it's dollars and quantity, I always want you to put the dollar amount on top and the quantity under it, right? So you end up, in this case, dollars per pound. So that'd be $0.36 or 36 cents per pound. COVID cell measures this much, and the scale diagram, it's this much. So we know that for a scale factor, we go diagram over actual. Diagram is 37 millimeters over the actual, which I keep unchanged. So basically, I just converted the 3.7 centimeters, right, to millimeters, knowing that 1 centimeter has 10 millimeters. Right, cancel that out, so that's 37 millimeters. And so when you're using your scale factor, right, you want to cancel out the units. And so this is really the scale factor here. Okay, D was the right answer. For three, these three were bigger than 1. So though, to get the full marks, you needed to circle all 3. And then the next question here, again, I'm using original. So if this is the original, then this would have to be the new one, right? You're making a replica copy. And so to find a scale factor, again, we're just comparing one-dimensional items here, right? So in this case would be the height of the triangle, right? So new over original, right? Following this pattern, new over original, I multiply both of them by 10 to give me 27 over 90. That is 3 over 10 reduced, not that you needed to have that. This would give you the marks, 0.3 and 30%, because they asked for all 3 formats. Then I use cross multiplying, dividing. So I basically, you can use this scale factor or this one, or use the decimal, it doesn't matter. I'm using this one in this case. So new over original. I want Z here, which is technically the base of the new over the base of the original, right? Cross multiply, divide, and it didn't specify, it's in centimeters, of course, because that's all we had. Here, this was done well overall. Some of you may have missed a 0 here and there, or it was just a small mistake, so I only took off half when that happened. But overall, done very well. Just make sure you round to 2 decimals when you put your answer down, or more. And so this one was tricky. I converted right to millimeter, like I went 2 centimeters, 2 inches, 2 feet, and then right feet to miles. And then I still needed to take care of the seconds, right? So you end up with 0.11 miles per hour. Those of you who struggle with this, just multiply everything out in the numerator, put that number down, do the same with the denominator, put the number down, divide, and then you get your final answer there. That page was out of 10. The back side, it did say that find the unit price per liter, right? So I would have circled that. So it's basically asking dollars per liter, not gallons per liter or gallons per dollar, or like a lot of you did it in various ways. So I only took off half if you didn't answer it this way, as long as it was done consistently. Some of you weren't quite sure what you were getting after doing some conversions. So just need to make sure you're consistent with your units. Like if you put the dollars down here and the liters up here, when you end up dividing, right, you get liters per dollar, right? And so you got to make sure you understand what's happening there, which one is better. So I converted both of them, right? I knew that 754 for 1 gallon. So I just went ahead and went 754 divided by 3.79, because I know that this is the equivalent of a gallon, but then I have it in liters. You divide and you get $1.99 per liter. Sobeys, it's $2.99 for 0.75 of a liter. It's okay to make that conversion, right? Divide that by 1,000. So it's $3.99 per liter. Superstore is better by $2 per liter. So make sure that, right, you have that rate there. How many jugs could you buy? And so we're going with Superstore because that was the cheaper one. So it's $7.54 for a jug. So how many jugs would you get for $30? A lot of you you actually just went $1.99 per liter. And so how many liters can I buy with $30? You could have done that, but then you still needed to figure out how many jugs, right? So you'd have to divide that number you get by 3.79 and then round, because it's only whole quantities. So in this case, I cross multiply and divide, and I don't quite have enough for my 4th jug, so I got to settle with 3 jugs. Next, in this case, these are the actual dimensions, right? So I use actual. All right, so here we have the length of the diagram is given here, 7 inches. And we have the length of this room, right? The actual length is 20 feet. So again, you go back to knowing that the scale factor is diagram over actual, right? And I did do a conversion here where I converted 20 feet to inches, right? And then now that I place it like this, I can cancel out the inches. That's it as a fraction. This is it as a decimal. Okay, so we gotta make sure your units are the same and that you put the diagram on top, actual underneath it. Okay. For B, what you need to do here, because right, a box covers a certain amount, you need to figure out the number of boxes first. So a lot of you multiplied 20 times 12, you get 240 square feet. That was great. Then you need to focus not at the price and the coverage, you focus on how many boxes. So one box gives you this many square feet, so X number of boxes will get you 240 square feet. Cross multiply and divide, you get 8.88, which is really 9 boxes, right? You need to buy 9 boxes. And that's when you figure out the cost. So if you lost marks there, that would have been Y. There's other ways of doing it. So for example, I'm trying to think here, but as long as it is consistent, some of you converted later and determined the 9 boxes, that's fine with me. Okay. And then the scale diagram, you needed a ruler for that. So again, no need to convert really, because you're given a scale. It's not asking for the scale factor here. It's similar to the mental math we did. So we just figure out, right, the 45 meters, I want that in centimeters. Same with the 30 meters, I convert that into centimeters, right, based on this scale. So 2 centimeters represent 25 meters. How many centimeters would I need to represent 45 meters? Cross multiply and divide, right? Meters match meters, so you can leave it. And you're trying to find this in centimeters, of course, because it's centimeters on the other side. So you get 3.6 there. You do the same thing for the width. That's 2.4. We use these on our ruler to actually measure this out, but we label with the actual dimensions, right? So you get 1 mark for the diagram, and then label would have given you half there as well. Okay. So this actually measures 3.6 centimeters, and this is 2.4 centimeters, but we plug in the actual dimensions in real life. Okay. That is it. And practice some of those questions in the booklet for tomorrow. I'll post some keys yet as well.